got some new equipment today. Hopefully you can tell with the new infrareds and stuff like that. We're at Batsto Village, trying to see if we can find something new, little something different. It's got the walkie.
How far can you see them?
I mean, it's not too far. It's better than last week, though. On the flash.
What we got? Can't see it.
Ooh, that's the one you don't want. You see that?
Let me get
No. Satanic.
That ain't fun.
Like I said, I'm fine with just shit like that. You start getting into demons and shit.
Where were we when we knocked on the door?
Cabins.
So you told me to knock on the door. I knocked on the door. I looked in. It said the number 4. I don't know how many cabins there are. We saw when we scanned, it said number 32. That was right by the benches. We saw it's number 32, but I don't think that was number 4. Maybe that was just graffiti or something.
I really wish...
Ooh, that exit sign got me.
I know. I really wish we could go into them. I assume they had the doors locked.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going into the building.
You can walk in every building here during the day.
Do you know where the mill is?
Yeah, it's all the way up the trail. You gotta go over by those houses and follow it up.
They say that's the most.
But it's not home, so it's up to me.
Nah, light them up.
Oh, shit. My fault.
Set.
Yo, Evan, come here.
So I was sitting there recording. We were looking in one of the windows of the building, and I thought I captured someone standing in one of the windows.
Oh, it kind of looks like that someone's standing there, but...
There was no head. It was just shoulders and arms. It's just like the upper body. After further investigation, it just turned out to be a jacket.
Remember, you're seeing.
Oh, there's a jacket right there.
I'm in from this way, so I'm not sure. I really hope it is.
So we're getting a lot of older names.
We weren't getting them until we were in this vicinity here. Yeah.
I still say you blow the death whistle. We always get activity after that. Not to fuck with them, just...
Well, both at this point.
Yeah,
You want me to do it?
fuck with them, and we always get activity after
Blow
that.
that.
They're not moving. I know if I was sitting out in the woods and people were fucking blowing that shit. I'm telling you right now, it's not a house. You know why? It's 10 o'clock at night. And there's no fucking light. At all. They're not going to stay out there. What is that, the mill? No. Dude, look how big that building is. Hold on. I'm telling you, when we were just looking in the cabins, I heard something coming around the back. We've been getting a lot of interesting stuff right in this area, and all of us thought we saw something over there, and now I'm hearing something coming around. It's freaky. I don't know. No, it didn't.
Capt.
Damn.
Capt. So Smoot saw something coming around the building, and I tried to turn around and look real quick, and I saw nothing. I turned the light on, the spotlight. I got nothing, and I don't know what he saw. I have no idea. I got nothing. Unfortunately, I wish I did. Hopefully the camera picks something up.
Good spirits here.
Well, that's good because we started off with satanic, so.
Yeah, I know. Bad spirits here now.
Okay. So that's what's really odd is that we're getting all the dots and words down by the cabins. We're not getting anything over
By the mill, which is supposedly the
at
most
the mill
haunted.
we have some stuff, but in between we're getting nothing, which is odd.
All right, little recap from tonight. We, little Batsto Village. What's your first thoughts, Mr. Capt?
I mean, when we first got in there was a lot of... I was so concerned about... There was people out there. We didn't know what they were doing, so I was a little concerned about that, but...
Yeah, we didn't get full permission to be out there. It's a touchy issue because it is a state park, so you're technically allowed in, but there's hours for Batsto is till 4 o'clock. That I don't
don't know if that has to do with just the offices or whatever. So it's like, it's a weird situation.
Right.
Capt
But,
made some phone calls, and basically you had to talk to these people that weren't there right now, but we wanted to do it, so we took a shot. We figured worst case scenario, they tell us we got to leave, hopefully, and no trespass and fines or anything like that.
Right, so that was my biggest concern originally with those people that were out there, but we eventually found out that it was just people out there. And they finally came and left and whatever, and then I think that's when the real investigation actually started.
Yeah.
So we heard some things, we've seen some things, but we're going to review the footage to actually, make sure what we heard and saw were accurate, I guess. We got a little spook. We saw the deer, remember?
Yeah.
That was me. I jumped a little bit, but we went to the mill.
Yeah, it was actually really cool. All the different houses and stuff at the beginning. You keep thinking you see stuff, but who knows if it's reflections and this and that. We by the houses is where we got most of our activity.
Activity was crazy over there. Both of our apps are going off by the cabins.
Yeah.
I had dots. I had words all over the place by the cabins. We walked into like a field area, and I really didn't get too much.
Yeah,
And
it kind of shut down.
Once we went back to the cabins again, it was super active again. The mill.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of activity over there. A lot of sound.
Yeah, a lot of the reports online are that the mill is highly active, and most of the people that go there during the day swear they get a lot of activity over there. So hopefully we did have a couple interesting things happen over there. We heard some what I thought was voices, but I don't know if it'll come through on the audio.
I also saw, I think I saw a light turn off. My GoPro was actually off. I had my GoPro on, it shut off. We get over there, and I was like, a light just shut off. And I was really hoping that the GoPro picked it up, but it didn't.
Every camera shut off.
Yeah, we at some point, some of our electronics malfunctioned.
It's true.
My GoPro shut off once. I had to turn it back on. The camera shut off twice, and he had to start it back up. The camera wasn't dead. There was no problems with it. Even the audio recorder, it just went weird for a minute, and we had to check that. So I'm hoping that some of the audio, the stuff we did here, comes through.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
It's always tough with your own eyes to see,
Yeah, it's pitch black. You're looking all over the
And
place.
your eyes play tricks on you, your brain plays tricks on you, and it is what it is. But at the same time, there was a lot. And we also had a few times where the two apps were almost like coinciding with each other. So that was interesting. That was the first time we've ever had that happen.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. The first time for that, which is really interesting, because the first time the app ever proved itself to me, really. And again, it did in our first podcast. I talk about that. But it did it tonight again. By the cabins, tons of activity.
Yeah.
In the field, nothing.
As soon as we got to the mill.
We had one thing by the mill.
Well, as soon as we got over by the mill, it started up again.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as we'd get back towards the cabins, it stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd get by the mill, or by the cabins, and boom, like it was like a switch.
Right.
Started right back up.
So there's definitely some activity over by the cabins, and there's definitely some activity by the mill, for sure.
Yeah, and the reports were that you hear voices, you hear kids and stuff, and me and Capt both heard what sounded like voices while we were by the mill.
I didn't hear kids, but I did hear voices.
We couldn't decipher what it was.
It was definitely something.
There was definitely something over there. And then the freakiest thing that I had the whole time was right as we were getting ready to leave, we had thought we saw something at the one cabin.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were sitting there staring at the cabin. We were filming and stuff there a while. We kept thinking we heard something over that way. Your ghost radar was pointing that way. And then as we were walking out, I heard something. It sounded like something was coming along the cabins, making noise.
Yeah.
So we stopped.
Yep.
We trying to focus in that area. Hopefully we got something. We didn't see anything with our eyes, but it was definitely interesting. Very cool.
This was better than our first, our first trip.
Yeah.
This one was definitely a lot more active, a lot more visual for us, I think, too, than the first place.
Yeah, the difference is with the first video, we were focusing on one spot.
Mm-hmm.
We had one area that was the house, so we were there. There's so many cabins, so many different buildings, so much woods and everything else around there. It's like, it's hard, like you're moving around, it's hard to really focus.
But again,
on
remember,
a certain area.
a lot of things happen at one specific location.
Yes.
We had to tell a story. Sit
all
down.
at the benches.
There was a bench.
Yeah, we got to sit down,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't even know there was benches there.
Right.
So when I got to sit down on the Spirit Talker, we started looking, and boom, there was benches.
Now, to be fair, I've been here before, but I don't remember where the benches were. So it's not like I'm trying to,
Yeah.
I really.
And you were never
did
there
not,
in the night.
Never.
So.
I was disoriented big
yeah,
time. So
it changes everything.
I really had no idea that there was a bench there, and the fact that it said sit down, tell a story, and I can't remember the words off the top of my head right now, but there was a lot of things about telling stories and and something to say, or there was things like that were all happening at one time.
Yeah.
At that same location, and then when we walked away from it, we came back. We were getting the same idea.
Yeah.
We were getting the same kind of words. They wanted to tell us something.
Yeah, it seemed like that. I had mine was on airplane
I had
mode.
mine on for the first half of the trip. After the mill, it was off.
So I heard you had yours on.
Yeah, mine was off.
Mine was on only because
When did you turn it off?
I couldn't airplane mode off because we were having issues at the camper. I turned mine off by the mill. Remember when I was flicking with my I went through the you'll see the videos when you're editing. That I was texting my wife and stuff, but after that I turned it off because I was like, she's good, everything's fine. I turned it off. It was at the mill. It was after the mill. But when we got back the second time, it was off. It was done.
And
yours did spit out cabin.
Yeah,
too.
I was gonna say that.
Yours did spit out.
As we went by the mill, and we started thing, it said cabins. So we kind of walked back that way. That's pretty cool. I don't know. Would you? What do you think about revisiting it? Going back again, like a second trip?
Yeah.
See if we get different activity. I thought it didn't happen today. We were supposed to get here earlier, but by the time we got down here, it was already dark, so we didn't get to do a day trip. So we still have to actually go back in the original place to film over there to finish off that. And I would definitely want to go get some day footage over in Batsto.
Yeah.
So I would definitely.
It'd be a nice contrast to see exactly what we did during the day.
Yeah.
And then maybe even do it again, possibly.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, go. If hopefully we get down here a lot earlier next time. Go down there, do the two things, do the day trip, come back, check the footage, do whatever we got to do, charge everything up,
What's interesting
and
to
do
me,
another night trip.
What's interesting to me is if we went back again at night, and our apps were saying the same kind of things.
Yeah.
That would be honestly a huge thing.
Now with the Spirit Talker in both areas.
A whole different day. You could track it like in the day.
Yeah.
A whole different day. Turn locations off. See what it says.
Yeah, we got
something related.
We had a lot of names. And the thing was, it was like older names. Elijah. I can't
Vernon.
think.
Vernon is an old
Vernon.
name, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of older names that was actually.
Yeah.
And it seems like
Oh,
period
it said 1200s too, which is unusual because that was before any of the actual events that we're talking about happened. Like.
Yeah, it was built in the 1600s. That's when they settled it and started iron ore over there.
Yeah, so for it to say 1200s, I wonder if there was there something else.
Yeah, that's
that we don't even know about because
yeah.
there's nothing being recorded back then.
Well, you have that time it would have been the Lenape, the Indians. That's what I even said in the video. It's just
yeah, you did.
Seeing if we can get an Indian thing because that's who was settled in the mines at that time was all the Lenape Indians. So, other than definitely worth a revisit. I think it was definitely a cool place. We got an idea what we're dealing with now where, we didn't know going in.
We went in the dark.
Yeah.
Actually, and, mentally too,
Yeah.
We've heard stories, I know some stuff from being out here for a while, but at the same time, we're learning more as we go. So it's interesting.
Here's the rest of the team. We got Scrunch and Jake and Isla.
Wait, hold on.
Then we got camera guy Jake and our audio guy Scrunch.
Me personally, I didn't think it was as bad. Last week I thought it was definitely more creepy. I thought the scenery here was more cool. I thought the buildings and the water and everything like that, I thought that was pretty dope to see. But certain areas, there's definitely something watching us. When we're out
Definitely by the benches.
Definitely
Yeah.
by the benches. Definitely when we went up to the house, I felt like there could have been something on the top floor looking at us.
That building with that red light was crazy too.
Yeah, I definitely felt more on edge by the buildings. When we were out in the open, it just felt normal, like I was outside. When we were by the buildings, it felt like something could have been there watching us.
Every time we passed the windows, it looked like either a reflection or a glare or something, but I kept turning and looking. Nothing was there when I looked. I hope I got something on the camera I have to see later, but...
Capt brought up that one of the lights cut off. Now, I don't know if his GoPro caught it. My camera didn't catch it because it's infrared, so it's not really good with the lighting, but I'm really hoping it did get caught because that was pretty creepy.